Hello everyone, welcome to the Prepping Pug. We decided to do a pug-sized podcast, allowing us an easy way to get more content to you all. We will continue to do more traditional videos, but this is a great way to get small videos and information to you in a format that doesn't require the production and editing time that we would normally spend on a traditional video. So, welcome to the first ever Prepping Pug Podcast. This year, more frequently, I have found myself having more discussions with people regarding prepping. Granted, wearing a shirt with a pug and a gas mask and bold letters spelling out prepping may account for the initiation of the conversation, but a lot of people are open to having that talk. From my perspective, I've noticed a lot of people are seeing preparedness in a new light, maybe due to the issues we saw with things like toilet paper and food earlier this year. But it doesn't take a lot of effort to show how preparing is nothing more than another form of insurance, and one that can develop skills, introduce great new people, and be enjoyable. It probably also helps that the stigma from the doomsday prepper shows from the early 2000s is pretty much non-existent. Now, I find it extremely important to take advantage of the opportunity to have these discussions. You never know, you might find a like-minded individual whom would make a great addition to your mag or group. But even if they don't end up a member of your team, you might be helping another family become more prepared. I know it's easier to brush off or simply not acknowledge, but the truth is that regardless of what event happens, we're all going to witness a lot of people suffering. So if one more person gets into preparedness, you're at least reducing the suffering of that individual and possibly their family. I like to view and explain that prepping is a parallel road to normal life. In one lane, you have your life in the systems, and by systems, I mean your job, going to the grocery store for food, paying your electric bill, really anything we consider normal life. Prepping is simply investing time and resources outside of those systems and maintaining the other lane in case we ever need it. So if we take Americans' just-in-time delivery system as an example, this is just one system we consider, normal. Food is delivered from the farm or processor to a distribution hub, and then to our local, grocery store market. And your local grocery store gets delivered these products, just in time to prevent a zero inventory. So as preppers, we put aside food as an investment in case there's any issue with the system, whether that is, lack of production, delivery, or demand outweighing the supply. So we've invested resources into the other lane in case we ever need to travel on that path versus our normal day-to-day or week-to-week systems. You can take that one step further and judge your level of preparedness based on your dependency of any given system. So with the food example, you're stocked up on buckets of food, which is great, in case there's any short to medium term issues with the system. Then the next step would be gardening, maybe even jumping into small livestock. This further reduces your dependency on one of the systems. Judging your preparedness by seeing where you are between these two parallels is great. With so many systems and preparedness being overwhelming when you look at it as a whole, this can be a really great tool. Some can be as simple as, I rely on the electric system, and then you progress to, I rely on the electric system, but I have a generator for short-term power outages, and then progressing all the way to, I have a solar system and I don't rely on the grid at all. Granted, this is a more in-depth outlook on prepping as opposed to the 30-second, I have 6 months worth of toilet paper stashed and I guard it wearing my level 3 body armor. It is a great way to analyze your position or to get someone else thinking about their preparedness if you have the time for that conversation. Having this thought process is really great if someone mentions any local issue they are facing in a system. For instance, in Colorado a couple weeks ago, we dealt with a major interstate closure due to a wildfire, and this caused a major issue with the local supply of goods. So there were plenty of casual conversations that allowed dropping a small comment like, I wonder what it would look like if distribution was affected for 2 months or a year. Little things like that can spark a more in-depth conversation. So I will add that if you don't have the time for an in-depth conversation, but someone seems interested in the benefits or getting into prepping, directing them to Barrett Independent's Prepper Classroom or even just his 10 C's of Survival video are a great introduction to serious prepping. And they really do provide a good, solid foundation that can dramatically help a family that otherwise may be completely unprepared. So I think that'll wrap up our first podcast. If you like this format, please let us know in the comments. And if you'd like to support our channel, please consider subscribing or maybe check out our web store, thepreppingpug.com. Anyways, thank you very much. Have a great day.